for 80 Catalano. Getting the start outside of that row based on the lead draw is a gentleman.
Welcome back to our coverage of night number 7 of the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing on fanschoice.tv. Adam Mackey, Casey LaJoy here in the booth. Dylan Smith down on pit road. Dylan?
I'm down here with Anthony Nocello, starting the 92 car in the 7th position. Anthony, you had to change motors. Didn't start too bad, though. Is this one strong enough to get back to the front?
Yeah, it's a little bit down on power compared to the last engine we had in, but all in all, for making no laps today in practice, I think we had a decent qualifying run. You can definitely feel it's down a little on power, but I think if we have a good handle in race car, I think we can get up front and get a good handle, and I think we could definitely run up front tomorrow with this motor as the tires fall off, but I think we should run decent if we get the handle on it.
There's a word from Mr. Nocella in the 92 car as he had a couple good runs this week earlier on, kind of turned some heads, but last night had the issues and not the finish he wanted. Here's a look at our point standings. Chuck Hosfeld, Jimmy Blewett, Doug Kobe, the top 3. There's Matt Hirschman in the 4th spot. Got caught up in a crash the second night of modified racing. Had a second place run opening night and a win last night in the Blewett Memorial.
Ryan Priest, Amy Catalano tied for the 5th position. And as far as if she has a good night, she'll definitely take over the 5th spot. Ryan not here this evening. Anthony Nocello, we just heard from, is in 7th. Calvin Carroll, Jeremy Gerster, Dylan Stewart rounds out your top 10.
There's a look at the Patrick Emmerling 07 machine. Emmerling outside the top 10 in points. Had a disqualification this week. Had some issues with the car this week. As he's looking to get things turned around. Actually had a good start to the week. Set fast time on opening night, which was his 3rd straight fast qualifying effort in tour-type modified action.
The only issue was failed post-race tech. Too heavy left side weight after the first night when he finished 2nd. And then hasn't really got rebounded from there. But the caution flag is out. Field going to start to roll out on to the speedway. 35-lap sprint for these guys tonight after watching them go 76 laps in the John Blewett III Memorial Race. 35 laps will be the distance for the tour-type modifieds, and we talked about it earlier. Could see some maybe experimenting with some setups, experimenting with what you got. Tomorrow night will be the big one, the long one, 100 laps for the Richie Evans Memorial.
Tour-type modified winners this week. Monday night was Doug Kobe. Ryan Priest was Tuesday night, and last night was Matt Hirschman. 3 different winners and 3 nights of racing. We saw the point battle. Hosfeld with consistent finishes. Yet to win, he's a favorite. He set a lot of fast times here at the racetrack, including one tonight. And over the years, a big number of fast times. Since 2008, some 24 fast time awards at the World Series for Chuck Hosfeld.
He's been getting better every single night. 5th on night 1, 4th on night 2, 2nd. Last night, he's only got one more spot to gain to get that win. And there you see Anthony Nocella in the 92. Really surprised us on night 1 with all the speed he had.
Nocella in the 92 car. One of our drivers in our tour-type modified. You see the 2 of Blewett maybe setting the steering wheel back there as he comes to a stop on the bottom side of the racetrack. Meanwhile, you may hear and you'll see the cars start to pick up the pace a little bit as they get some heat in the tires before we officially get started tonight. It's the only division we really do this during the course of the World Series. These big wide tires get a little heat in them before we start the race.
Yeah, it really helps clean them off as well. These big old tires, you saw how much rubber and marbles got on the tires for the 70 at John Witten in that Florida modified race just by getting up there out of the groove in turn 2. And these tires twice as wide, so they pick up twice as much.
I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup. The invert after qualifying was a 4, putting the 4th fast qualifier. And what a week it's been so far for this lady, the 64 of Amy Catalano, starting from the pole. Right there she is. And she'll lead the field to green here in just a bit. Doug Kobe starts alongside in 2nd. Starting 3rd, Tommy Catalano in the 54. And fastest qualifier, Chuck Hosfeld in the 22, starts 4th.
Tyler Ripkema will fire off in the 5th spot. Timmy Solomito in 6th. Jimmy Blewett 7th. And Dylan Stoyer in 8th.
Starting 9th will be the 60 of Matt Hirschman. Anthony Osella will start in 10th in the 92. Patrick Emmerling's deep in the pack, 11th in the 07. And Bobby Meismer Jr. in the 17 starts 12th.
13th will be Andy Jankowiak, followed by Calvin Carroll in 14th. 15th will be Chris Ridsdale. 16th will be Nikki Carroll.
Rest of the starting lineup provided to us by the officials: Jeremy Gersner in the 55, Alan Marino in the 21, Mike Bologna in the 2X, and Mike Leedy in the 07. 20 cars on our starting lineup tonight. I believe 18 qualified. And 35 laps, short distance race. They will go hard and they will go fast tonight. Won't wait very long. They won't be saving tires. Won't be a lot of strategy. They'll try to get to the front and lead as much as they can.
Ralph Miller on the flag stand, showing them the 1-to-go signal. Lights are out on the pace car. We're getting ready to fire them off for 35 laps. Last night, Doug Kobe was the talking into this morning as well. Put on a scuffed tire because they had one going down. Well, it's not the rule here at New Smyrna Speedway. It's got to be on the rim. The rim has to be on the ground in order to be able to change that. They didn't want to destroy the car. Changed it anyway. Nevertheless, they're going to be rebounding for this one. The Tour Type Modifieds going green here at New Smyrna.
Off of turn number 4, Catalano in the 64, Kobe in the 2. Down into turn 1, Kobe goes into the lead. Catalano tries to stick to the bottom. Her son Tommy Catalano looking to the inside, drops back in line, heading to 3.
Chuck Hosfeld has moved away with the second position. Just a gaggle behind him, Catalano and Timmy Salamito. Side by side, Salamito going to get away with that third position and leave that side by side for a couple of Catalanos.
As we watch the field come off of turn 4, we saw one car duck down onto pit road. It was the 2 of Blewett. So Jimmy Blewett here early on has gone to the pits, as he's already been to the pits once. Now they go back to work on the front of the car. Salamito in the 16 drops to the inside of Hosfeld. Second spot up for grabs, and Salamito takes it.
He threw a little Nerf bar and was able to get away from Hosfeld for the moment. Ripkema and Amy Catalano going and battling it out. Give that spot to Ripkema.
Nose to tail. Here comes Tommy Catalano to the inside of Hosfeld off of turn number 2. Down the back stretch, nose to tail. 3 laps in. Going to be coming to 4. Amy Catalano seems to have that car up to speed now. And the 64 closes right up to the rear of Ripkema. She's running 6th.
Really good run so far. That's kind of been where she's been all speed weeks, around the 6th spot, but consistently. Been a picture of consistency. And right now, let's go down to Dylan Smith to hear what's going on with Jimmy Blewett.
I'm down here in Jimmy Blewett's pit. You can see the crew working hard on the right front. It looked like the brake line has come loose. They pinched it off with some crimpers and sent Jimmy back.
So there you go, the report. Sounds like brake issues for the 2 of Blewett. Up front, issues for Kobe. It's the 16 of Salamito who has caught him and is challenging hard with 6 laps in.
The natural going to move to the inside. Can't make anything happen. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He's really trying to use that middle lane and cross up under and get a good run on exit. They stay single file. Here comes Catalano. Tommy Catalano going to try to take 3rd from Hosfeld on the bottom left.
For the lead in the upper right of the screen, Salamito gets to the inside of Kobe, down the back stretch into the corner. Kobe winning on opening night for the Modifieds earlier this week, but right now trying to hold off Salamito at the line. Salamito gets him by inches. Salamito trying to become the 4th different winner in 4 nights at the World Series.
The natural going to move to the lead. He used the same move on Hosfeld that he did on Kobe. Kind of slid up in the middle of the corner, gave him a shot with an Nerf bar, and now he's away with the lead. 9 laps complete.
Tommy Catalano in the 54. He's had a great week. He's running in the 3rd spot. As we look back a little further, the 11 of Dylan Stoyer running 7th. Anthony Osella, talked to him before the start of the race tonight. He's running in the 8th spot. Hirschman running 9th. He's picked up just 2 spots, and a terrible week continues for Patrick Emmerling in the 07.
The hits just keep on coming for that 07 machine, but right now I'm kind of shocked with the 60 machine as he makes a move to the inside of Nocella back here in 9th. Going to try to pass Nocella for 8th.
Hirschman making the move. Big Money Matt wins big money races here at the World Series. Gets to the inside, goes down into the corner, and we'll have to retract a little bit. That wasn't the Emmerling 07. That was the Mike Leedy 07 that was at the back of the field. They are identical cars and easily confused, as Patrick Emmerling still on the racetrack. So a little sigh of relief there.
Yeah, I thought we were seeing deja vu there for a minute. I wasn't sure what was going on. Emmerling now going to move around Nocella. That opens up the door for Bobby Meesmer Jr. Meesmer, no run down the back straightaway.
Nocella in line, the 17 of Meesmer behind him, the 12, Jankowiak, the 25 of Carroll. Nose to tail. It starts with the 07 of Emmerling running in the 9th position.
Meesmer still running that inside line. He's got Andy Jankowiak there just behind him in the 12 machine, but the 07 of Emmerling starting to open up a lead over that 92 of Nocella once again. That's 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Nose to tail, single file continuing on. It's early stages, but we're closing on the halfway mark. Green flag conditions so far. Kobe in the 2, running second. Running third is Catalano. And just like we've seen the last few nights, his 54 car is strong, and he's challenging again for the runner-up spot.
The Rocket. Tommy Catalano has had a rocket all week long as he is reeling in the 2 machine of Doug Kobe. Kobe could just be saving his stuff, saving it for the end, or the 54 could be that much better. They really haven't let Salamito get out to a big lead, though.
Nose to tail for the 2nd and 3rd place cars. Now Kobe gets a couple of car lengths advantage on him again. The 54 of Catalano closes the gap back to within a car length or so, heading down the front straightaway. Just a lap from the halfway mark. You mentioned the brakes as they spark sometimes when those front rotors going into the corner. You can see it there for the 2nd place car of Kobe. Looking back further, Emmerling on the inside of Stoyer.
Trying to take the 8th spot away from Stoyer. Stoyer giving him a little bit of room. Emmerling keeps him clean on the inside. Side by side, some sparks. He may have a problem on that right front of Stoyer.
And the field slows as they go into turn 1 because we have our first yellow flag of the race. It's the 1 of Chris Ridsdale. Rochester, New York driver, Race of Champions, Modified Tour competitor is spun. Brings out our first yellow flag. Doesn't seem to be any damage on the race car. Tires seem to be up. So maybe either just some slight contact or just a spin down in turn 1 for Ridsdale. But yellow's out at the halfway mark of the race. 17 to go for Salamito, the race leader.
Salamito shot out of a cannon in the first half of this race. Ridsdale turned back in the right direction. Down on pit road, I believe this is the 92 Nocella. It is. Nocella coming to the attention of his crew. You see him working on a little bit of the front, a little bit of the rear end, maybe making some adjustments as he was falling rather quickly there. Didn't have the liking to that machine.
That he was, as they take a look at the rear tires. Again, we've seen this a lot tonight especially, and we've seen it throughout the week as well, and not only this division but some others, but mainly this class as they check the stagger to see if they can make some air pressure adjustments, as it looks like they're going to take some air out of the right rear, maybe to close up the stagger a little bit.
Yeah, that's an easy way to fix your issues. A little air pressure here, a little wedge there, and he's back on his way, and hopefully that was some positive changes. But to see what they actually did, let's go down to the pits and find out from Dylan Smith.
Anthony Nocella, 2017 Valentes Tour champion, just came in, got some wedge adjustment. Hopefully that makes his car a little better, guys.
Back out is the 92 of Nocella. Will drop to the rear of the field. 18 laps in, 35 laps the distance in this race. Salamito leads. That 16 car, Casey, fast tonight. Saw some points of the race last night. Was very good as well. 9-time winner of NASCAR Wheel and Mod Tour races, and he's showing his strength again this evening.
Problem in turn 4, you can see it there in our speed shot. One car turned around backwards, 2 cars looks like they've made contact. Hey, what is it tonight about cars under caution? Looks like a couple of Carrolls, but look at the one at Ridsdale.
So the Ridsdale 1 and the 225 Carroll cars stopped up in turn 4. Ridsdale,
he's got a Nerf bar under his tire.
Big time problems. He's not pulling away from the scene. He's going to need the hook.
He doesn't look happy. Saw some things flying around inside the cockpit. Through the wheel, window net came down pretty aggressively.
Under yellow tonight, we've had a couple of issues under caution.
Yeah, just really for the modifieds. Florida mods had their fair share of issues, and now the tour type mods. Ridsdale catching the brunt of it. Carrolls were also involved. Carrolls coming off a night Both of them, Nikki and Calvin, had their fair share of problems.
Yeah, last night was a nightmarish night for them.
Nightmarish? I wonder, is that a word? We need to look that one up there.
I think it is.
You see, good shot of the fans here at New Smyrna Speedway. Thanks for tuning in on fanschoice.tv. I'm Casey LaJoy. Joined alongside of me, Adam Mackey, bringing you the action here at New Smyrna Speedway. The field still behind the pace car. One more race left after the Tour Type Modifieds, and that is the Super Late Models. A lot of stories coming in tonight for the Super Late Models as well.
Super Late Models, some pretty talented drivers in that field, and we've seen Bubba Pollard be very strong. There's a great look down in the corner.
So he got hit. It wasn't just something broke. It was...
Got hit hard.
Yeah.
On the right side.
I would have thought that something broke and then it caused him to spin around. Carroll's just spun to avoid, but that is serious.
You see the one of Ridsdale parked up in the corner. They'll try to get him off the racetrack. They've got the car off the ground with 17 laps to go. Beautiful night here in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, as it will be the next couple of nights as well. Glad to have you with us here on fanschoice.tv, but it would be even better if you were here with us watching the races at the World Series. If you can make a getaway during the month of February, this is the place to be. Racing at Daytona, racing here at New Smyrna. Plenty of dirt racing going on all across the state as well. Just the place to be during the month of February.
Yes, it is. They're racing over at the big track at Daytona. Of course, their big race, the race that they call, I think it's the Daytona 500 or something.
Yeah, I believe
like that.
it is kind of a popular
It's got
race.
some sort of significance to it.
Little tradition over the years. And things, the action, as if it hasn't been solid all week long, will really pick up tomorrow night. It's one of the most looked forward to nights at the racetrack here for the Richie Evans Memorial 100. As soon as you get to the racetrack, you notice a different atmosphere, and the car show, the antique cars, the vintage cars out in the parking lot. And then you come into the gates, and the drama and the anticipation builds toward that 100-lap race for the Tour Mods tomorrow night. Having a hard time getting that car off, and it's not a usual situation. The rear of the car not really cooperating with trying to get it off the ground.
I wonder if they're going to have to put it in the cradle like we had to do last night. You know, the noses of these modifieds are so close to the ground, you can't lift the back end up that high without damaging the nose, so they might have to cradle it.
They have made it to the flat part. Well, I'm sure when they came down the banking through the grass was a bit of an issue. 35-lap Super Late Model feature, you mentioned them. They still yet to go tonight. They're going to be coming up next for our Night 7 coverage.
All races 35 laps tonight. Already saw the Pro Late Models and the Florida Mods. Pro Late Model tech is cleared. That was the big talk after last night and even into this morning. Was post-race tech after a driver in each division bit the bullet in tech inspection. Pro Late Models, it was Jeremy Miller. Florida Mods, it was Augie Grill. In the Tour Type Mods, they actually put tech on hold, or at least they put official results on hold, because Doug Covey, they had suspicion of him changing a tire, and he admitted it in the driver's meeting. Said they put on a scuff because he knew they had a tire going down. They didn't want to risk destroying the race car. And also in the Super Late Models, Jared Irvin was disqualified for too heavy on the left side percentage.
Tomorrow night's action starts at 7:30 here at the racetrack. The Zach Donati Memorial is, I
think we've used the buggy too much tonight.
Trouble for the buggy.
It's bad when even the buggy needs a tow back to the pits.
Going to have to go to the shop with that one. Zach Donati Memorial for the Pro Late Models tomorrow night. 100 laps will get us started right at 7:30. Sportsman 35. It's the American Auto Sportsman back in action tomorrow. Richie Evans Memorial 100. Pro Truck 50 and the Ground Pounders in the 25 lappers. So we'll have plenty of racing on our Friday evening here at the 53rd running of the World Series. Field coming back to green. Tour Type Modifieds ready to go. There's Kobe and Salamito. Front row, Catalano and Ripkema in row number 2. Back underway.
Had a break right at halfway, and now it's go time. 17 laps to go. Salamito going to try to jump out with the lead. Look at Catalano. Power move to the inside.
Great move by Catalano. Took a little higher entry, middle of the corner, was able to get on the go button first. Gets by Kobe. Here comes fast qualifier. Chuck Hosfeld in the 22. To the inside of Kobe. Battle for third.
Keeping my eyes on big money Matt Hirschman. He's been laying in the grass. He had a good run. Had to check up for Chuck Hosfeld as they work around Doug Kobe on the outside. Ripkema in this battle as well.
Hosfeld in the 60. Hirschman in the 60. Hosfeld one spot in front of him in the 22. The 2 of Kobe right behind him. 32 of Ripkema just outside the top 5. There's Amy Catalano in the 64 still hanging around up there in the 7th position, trying to get herself another top 5 tonight.
Emmerling and Stoyer along with Miesmer in that battle as well. Up front, still Timmy Salamito showing the way over a hard-charging Tommy Catalano.
Miesmer making a run on the outside of Emmerling, nearly bumped tires coming off of turn number 2. This is a battle for the 8th position. Emmerling had it, Miesmer takes it.
Best run so far for Miesmer. Kind of had a shaky start.
Jankowiak turned left on Nosella coming down the front stretch, nearly put him into the fence. Not sure if there was something that led up to that or not, but Jankowiak kind of turned left coming down the straightaway. Nosella had to check up.
Andy Jankowiak and Nosella gather it up after that contact as we move back forward and take a look at Miesmer and Emmerling as Miesmer trying to reel in Amy Catalano's 64. Another solid night so far. She sits in 7th.
Watching now at the front of the pack, the 16 of Salamito with 11 laps to go. Catalano wants it. He's been so close to, he's led for a while this week as well, just hasn't been able to finish the deal, close the deal. He would love to do it tonight in that 54.
Your top 4 last time by ran almost identical lap times. This time as they flash across the stripe, fastest one on the track is the 54 Catalano, and you could tell he really closed the distance but struggled there off turn 2.
And here is Amy Catalano, the 64, Miesmer the 17, Emmerling the 07. We watch them. They are 7th, 8th, and 9th. They follow Ripkema, who is running in the 6th position. Miesmer making a move, drops back in line, then thinks again to go to the bottom. Nearly runs out of room. No contact, though. Opens the outside lane up for Emmerling. Miesmer almost closed the door as the field slows for a spin. It's Jankowiak in the 12. That's interesting.
You got to wonder if maybe there was some payback down the front straightaway, or payback from the front straightaway.
Yeah, not sure if Nosella was able to get back to him or not, but that was really strange. We saw it happen live here on fanschoice.tv. Well, it was the right rear tire went down. So Nosella didn't get back to him, I don't believe. Just the right rear possibly going down that causes the spin for Andy Jankowiak.
He can change that right rear tire. I believe it's on the rim.
Yeah, I think it's on the rim.
Yeah, I think so.
Not going to be a penalty for that one. And we had a lot of drivers come down pit road in the 76 lapper. They're not allowed to take new tires during the Blewett race. They will be in the Evans race, but in the Blewett race, they can't take new tires unless the tire is flat and on the rim. And Kobe's wasn't, but he does come down pit road once again here.
There you see a super late model starting to line up as Kobe makes his way to his pit stall, and he clearly hasn't been happy with this machine. You're going to try to make an adjustment on the left side and the right side. See the wedge wrench going in.
Wedge adjustment on the car. Working on that number 2. The crew will go around. Make some more adjustment. Just waiting for them to see if they were going to check the stagger. Now they're going to check at least pressure on the left rear tire. Probably a lot of times pressure grows in that left rear, closes up the stagger a little bit. There's the Jankowiak 12 and the crew working on that car.
You got the right rear changed, and he's down and away. Beautiful looking race car. And there you see, talked about a little last night, was the quarter midget track. The field continues to pace behind the pace car.
9 to go. Double file time as Salamito takes the outside lane. There's Carroll in the 25.
I think they want him to go.
They wanted him to go. Unfortunately, he couldn't go because the jackman still had the rear of the car up in the air. So he was pretty much at the jackman's mercy. Front-wheel drive, he might have pulled the jackman out on the racetrack.
Well, lights are out on the pace car. 9 laps to go in this one. It's going to be a sprint. We've seen how dicey things can get with these Tour-type modifieds. off turn number 4. Beating and banging already. Salamito on the outside. He gets a good jump.
Oh, some bumper cars. It's going to be a little hairy for a while. Hirschman's found himself up in the 3rd spot. Let's keep our eyes on the 60. Contact up front. It is Catalano on the inside lane taking the advantage. Can he pull this one off and take the lead? Gonna be close coming out of 4s as Salamito fights back and takes it at the line.
Oh, so close. If he could have got it there, that would have, I would say that would almost be it. Contact. He's going to run Salamito up the racetrack. Drag race down the back straightaway. The Natural on the inside. The Rocket on the inside.
Catalano wants a win here so bad, and right now he's challenging hard. And as they come out of turn 4, yellow lights flash again as we have a pile up as the field goes down into turn number 1. And look at it right there. Amy Catalano had such a good week going, was 5th in points, 92 Nocella, 07 Emmerling, 2 of Blewett gets through, 2 of Kobe's there, Carroll in the 25 is there, and now Emmerling has hung himself up on the Carroll machine. The left front tire is down, on Kobe. He can change that one if they would like. As Amy Catalano pulls away, unburned fuel in the exhaust now burned up as she gets the car refired. And then also the other Carroll machine down there as well. Calvin and Nikki both involved as they have had a tough last couple of nights.
But a few nights ago, Emmerling had Jane Kowiak on top of him, and now he's on top of Calvin Carroll in the 25 machine.
They'll just need to get the tow truck to lift the back of the 07 car up so the 25 can back out from underneath it if it's capable of driving.
See, Ricky's heading over there. He might be strong enough just to pick these things up.
I don't think at night number 7, he's probably too tired.
Pretty tired, yeah.
So they will hook up the 07, get those 2 cars apart as we take a look at the replay. Going to be toward the front of this. And it's going to be the 17 of Meesmer, dove in hard, made contact with the 64 of Catalano, and nowhere to go for anyone else.
No, just piling in. It didn't look like a whole lot of sidelining damage for everybody, just a lot of flat tires and some bent sheet metal and front bumpers. I believe that was Blewett that came in towards the end, and got the 2 of Kobe. That was probably the brunt of the damage.
So the contact coming from the 17 of Meesmer. He thought the opening still might be there, and he drove it in. He had the inside lane coming out of 2, then she cleared him, and as he drove in turn 3, just caught the left rear quarter panel of Amy Catalano, who has had such a good week. 6th place finish 2 nights ago, 5th place finish last night, and came in 5th in the standings. As the work goes on, the number 2 Kobe machine.
They're going to take the left rear off and look at the rear end. Did take a pretty good shot to the rear end from the other 2 machine, Jimmy Blewett. Make sure nothing is bent or broken. You know, their sole purpose of coming here to the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing was to get them ready for the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour. And he said even though, you know, they got penalized last night, they're still here to learn, and they're here to make their cars better. And I feel like they've certainly done that. They've shown a lot of speed, but they just missed it a little bit tonight.
He started the week with 1st place and a 3rd place finish, so he was outstanding. And then last night, obviously, had the issue that relegated him back in the field. Last car on the lead lap at the finish because of the tire change that wasn't legal. As they work on the number 2, Doug Kobe.
Looks like they're putting the tire back on, maybe get it back on the ground. Not sure if anything was bent. If it is, I'm sure he'll go behind the wall, and then he'll probably drive right back out on the racetrack. His steering wheel is off, and he's getting ready to climb out. So I think he's going to be done for the evening.
And he's kind of out of the points battle at this point after the bad finish last night. Can't really win the championship as he's now 14 behind, and problems tonight as you look at the rear end.
It did a big wiggle there as soon as they got off the racetrack, or off the ground. It kind of looked like from the angle we're sitting, it was turned sideways in there, but I didn't know if that was just a weird angle the camera was pointed. But it definitely was messed up. And as soon as they got it off the racetrack, it did a big old wobble.
So first DNF this week, it looks like, for Doug Kobe. Crew will have their work cut out for him. Maybe some long hours tonight to try to get him on track for the Richie Evans Memorial 100 coming up tomorrow evening.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be what they're looking forward to. I think they're just maybe trying some stuff tonight. You know, as we talked about, a lot of these teams are willing to try different packages on their race car to see what's better, see if they can maybe find and fine-tune a couple things, maybe experiment with some things they wouldn't otherwise be able to experiment with. Calvin Carroll takes the ride back on the hook. He will no longer be able to continue for tonight.
Well, and we won't say that for 100% certainty, as they are going to work on the left front, but most likely done for the night is Carroll in the 25. As we have completed 27 of the 35 laps, 8 laps to go in our Tour Type Modified. Super late models, they're lining up along pit road. They're going to be ready to go at the conclusion of this one to finish up our evening.
You see Dylan Smith down there on pit road and probably going to see if he can grab a word with Kobe as soon as the crew gets done talking to him.
Nowhere to go in that deal,
No.
and Meismer didn't do that on purpose. He thought he had an opening, dove to the inside. We see these cars go so hard into the turns, and they're able to make moves that none of the other divisions do, and sometimes it gets them in trouble. That time it was the case, just clipped Catalano on the left rear quarter panel and sent it spinning as we send it down to the pits and Dylan Smith.
Here is Doug Colby with the number 2. Doug, what'd you see, man?
We just missed tonight again. We were just way too tight from the start, and we pitted because we're thinking of tomorrow night's race, so we pitted to try to free it up and ended up in the back, and those guys were kind of slamming each other from the drop of the green on that restart. I should have known what we were in for, and I bent up in front a little bit, got a flat left. Somebody just off a bit of a long night tonight and get ready for tomorrow.
07 of Emmerling back out on the racetrack again. 92 of Nocella on pit road.
I was surprised that, he had to come down pit road, but you could see the left front tire definitely turned a little bit more than the right front tire. But he didn't look like he really made a whole lot of contact whenever he slid in there, obviously more than we thought. But when he slid in there, it looked like he was going to be one of the ones that just had to drive, he was going to drive away unscathed, and really just kind of slid in and was boxed in by Amy Catalano and the rest of the field that piled in with them, but obviously took a lot more damage than we originally thought.
Solomito looking for the World Series win tonight. He'd like to get it to the finish here. 3 straight top 5s in points in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour in regular season action. Making his appearance at the World Series this year is his 3rd in Speed Week's action. As you see, he leads the way, and he's had a good race car this week, and he had a good race car down here last year.
He always does. He always runs really well here at New Smyrna, and he always looks forward to coming here and always has a rocket ship when he's here, but hasn't had the luck that he needs. Sometimes he just hasn't had the raw speed. Sometimes he has had the speed and gotten caught up in some messes, like that big one in turn 2. But the lights are out. We have completed 27 laps. There will be 8 to go when they get back to the stripe.
Solomito, the leader, has chosen the inside lane. Catalano's on the outside. Hirschman restarts 3rd. Restarting 4th, Hosfeld. This one far from over. 8 laps from the finish.
We'll see if Catalano can use that outside lane for a big run, but Solomito runs him up the racetrack. Look, here comes Big Money Matt.
Hirschman to the inside. They're beating and banging back in the field. Bad break for Catalano, but Hirschman takes the number 1 spot at the line. 7 laps to go.
They make contact into turn number 1, but what a move by Matt Hirschman. It's almost like the seas parted for him. Solomito run Catalano up the racetrack. That opened up the inside for Hirschman to really make a move, and did he capitalize? Also, Chuck Hosfeld in the top 3 now.
When you take the inside lane like that on a restart, Solomito, I think, did so that Catalano couldn't do what he did to Catalano.
Yeah.
And it opened the door wide open for Hirschman. He had to fill it, and he made the wise move.
Right now, Hirschman in an advantageous position. 5 laps to go as we look at the battle for Catalano in 4th. Meismer all over him in 5th.
Yeah, Meismer's worked his way up into the 5th position. Stoyer running in 6th. Jankowiak running in 7th. So Meismer in the 17. 54 car of Catalano right ahead. We're down to the final 4 laps to go.
Meismer tried to look to the inside out of 4. Nothing happening down the front straightaway, and he will stay glued to the back bumper. Hirschman trying to pull away from Salamito. He's able to stay right there in the tire track side by side once again for fourth.
Meismer got to the inside of Catalano, will pick up the spot. And we've seen Catalano have this issue a couple times this week, where toward the end of the race it seems to fade after he runs very well early on. He's got a 100-lapper tomorrow night with a pit stop involved. I'm sure he'll try to get it fine-tuned to have a much better finish. Down to the final couple laps in this one.
Yeah, Chuck Hosfeld all over the back bumper of Salamito's. Hirschman able to open up a bit of a lead. Last time I saw the 16 come off the corner, he was quite sideways. You see him working the wheel off turn 2.
Hosfeld trying to get by the 16 of Salamito as the final lap is upon us. White flag waves. 1 to go for Matt Hirschman.
Hirschman trying to go 2 for 2 and win 2 in a row here in the closing nights here at the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. You're looking at the battle for the second spot. But off turn number 4, Big Money Matt will go back-to-back and win the Tour Type Modifieds here at New Smyrna Speedway.
Salamito does hold off Hosfeld for second. Meismer finishes in the 4th spot. Catalano takes the 5th position as we wrap things up for the Tour Type Modifieds with a back-to-back win for Hirschman in the 60. He was the point champion of the World Series a year ago, and you saw Catalano pull up quickly, get beside Salamito. He wasn't real happy because he got shoved up into about groove number 3.5.
He was dusting off the cushion up there.
Yeah, a little bit, and not real happy about that, I'm sure, was Salamito, Catalano, but Salamito ends up coming home in second. At the same time he did that, he opened up the door for Hirschman, and he made the winning move on that last restart.
Yeah, Catalano still able to rally to a top 5. Andy Jankowiak in 6th. Good run for him. He really snuck up back into the top 10 after that mishap in the cut right rear tire off turn number 4. Catalano certainly unhappy behind the wheel, but I know one driver that is happy, and that's Big Money down there in Victory Lane.
6th victory at the World Series for Hirschman. It's only his 2nd short distance win. 4 of his 6 wins have come in the long distance races, as we talked about last night. We're going to send it down to Victory Lane. Dylan Smith, stand by.
Well, they call him Big Money Matt Hirschman. In the last 2 nights, as he gets a high five from his kid, in the last 2 nights, he's been right in the money, finding himself in Victory Lane. Crew gets the car on the boards. Try to get Matt out of this PD. Number 60, I think, has been lights out the last 2 nights. There he comes out of the 60 car. Big Money, Matt Hirschman. Matt, back to back. What do you say?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting, actually. I really didn't think tonight was going to be our night after our poor qualifying effort. Definitely got to do better there because we missed the opportunity for an invert completely. But I made a few more changes, stuff I wanted to try. At first I didn't think it was really probably any good, but really came in well, and just was in the right opportunity. I don't know if we had the fastest car, but just made one good move, and that was what we needed.
Big Money Matt Hirschman takes his 2nd victory here at the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing.
Good run again for the 60. Just found himself in the right place at the right time tonight. He kind of lets things develop for him.
He does. I noticed last night he went to punch our camera. Tonight he did it with a peace sign. Peace up.
What will he do tomorrow night if he can be the first driver ever to win the Blewett and the Evans in the same week? No driver has done that. He's got a chance tomorrow night.
If anybody could do it, it'd be Big Money Matt. Certainly stating his dominance, and it's cool to see. We're used to talking about him on the long runs, and tonight he really showed that they have both short and long run speed. One driver who definitely had the short run speed, just couldn't quite put it together on the long run, was this driver standing with Dylan Smith.
Here with the natural, Timmy Salamino. Timmy, you led a lot of the race, a lot of hard racing there at the end with the 54. What do you see from your standpoint?
We just overworked the right front tonight. We've been loose the last couple nights, so we tightened the car up finally and just overworked the right front. I let him have the bottom there in the one restart. He used me up for 3 laps, and I couldn't let him have the bottom again, So coming away with a second, it's good. I like to win, so it is what it is, but we'll build on it and go to the 100-lapper tomorrow and see what we got.
Timmy Salamino, here to win races, not make friends.
Good run for the 16, just didn't work out on that last restart. It hurt the 54, but it also hurt the 16 when he went up the track because it opened the door for the 60 of Hirschman. Third place run for the fast qualifier tonight, the 22 car of Chuck Hosfeld. He stands by with Dylan Smith.
Here is Chuck Hosfeld. Man, you're leading the points. It's been a really good week for you.
It has. It's been fun here. We race, then we eat, then we drink, then I try to get an adult hug in, and repeat. We do it again tomorrow. It's every day, same thing. So that was like qualifying for 35 laps. These guys are tough. If I was able to win that, I'd be so proud because it's against, you've got the 2 team and the 16 team, and we're right there in the mix, and we've got our car under us. So I'm really proud of the team, proud of everything going on.
Chuck Hosfeld, your points leader here with the Tour Mods on night number 7.
Well, he's got a few of his checklists done. Maybe an adult hug coming up later tonight. Hosfeld, what a run for the 22 just this week. Consistency. He's been there. He's been able to stay out of trouble. He's fast in qualifying. He'll try to really get that win and put the exclamation point on his week tomorrow night as he leads the standings.
Yeah, 5th, a 4th, a 2nd, and a 3rd. As Chuck Hosfeld has really just been one of the most consistent drivers of all the divisions here at New Smyrna Speedway for the World Series.
Taking a quick look at the rundown, Hirschman picks up the win. Salamito finishes in the 2nd spot. Hosfeld takes 3rd. Meismer takes 4th, and Catalano finished in the 5th position.
6th was Andy Jankowiak. 7th was Patrick Emmerling. Calvin Carroll finished 8th. 9th was Dylan Stoyer. And rounding out your top 10 was Amy Catalano.
Race monitor here at the racetrack. We pull our timing and scoring a little bit messed up here as they get ready to go super late model racing, but that was a look at your top 10. 11th was Jeremy Gersner. 12th was Tyler Ripkema, Nikki Carroll, Anthony Nocella, and Doug Kobe rounding out the top 15. We're going to be back with the final race of your Thursday night from the World Series of Asphalt Stock Car Racing. Super late model 35 is next.